for like, I've been reading the comments the last couple of days, and again, let me just say, like, thank you guys. Like, okay, it's been like really, oh my God, I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. New customers, join today and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. With me for the last time, my producer, Steve Renato. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a couple of weeks here on the show, off of the show. Let's get to the show. Let's just do the show today, Stacey. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. For today, we have just a whole bunch of questions. You guys crushed it with questions this week, so I figured, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do questions. And that's what we're going to do here on today's episode. So let's go ahead and jump into them. Our Locked On Yankees insiders, obviously, always get priority. And so that's where we're going to start, as we always do. This first question today, Stacey, is coming from Ruben. And by the way, so many people, just the nicest things in the world to say, just the nicest things. So I'll keep it together. Ruben saying, "Hi, Steve. Best of luck to you. Do you think Scott Boras will accuse MLB of collusion? And what bold Yankees and or Yankee player predictions do you have for 2024? Thank you, Ruben, for being an insider. I've made my peace with a lot of people already here, but I'm probably going to keep doing it here today. Yeah, we're coming out the gate real hot. MLB Collusion. Now, when I read this, Stace, and I told you this right before we hit record, I was like, come on, bro. I read that. I was like, come on, dude. What are we talking about? And then I saw the clip on Foul Territory that Kike was talking about. Kike Hernandez talking about, like, things are a little sketchy this offseason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to put it all on Scott Boras alone. Obviously, he's the one that likes to make headlines and, you know, legs feed the wolf here. They love to feed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think about it until the Kike video. So yeah. And this is coming out right before we started recording. So I don't know, dude. We will see how weird this stuff gets, because this is kind of semi-breaking kind of right now. But your thoughts on this, Stace?
I just thought the timing was impeccable for this question and for the Kike thing, because I saw the tweets about him mentioning the C word, but not saying the C word, but how the C word should be capitalized. And I was like, ooh, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, because he's saying that he said, what, 6 or 7 people that he had spoken with that were impacted by things like this. It's on Foul Territory. If you guys haven't seen that show, I don't know how you haven't seen Foul Territory yet. Like, it really is blown up over the last year. But yeah, it was interesting for sure. Bold Yankees predictions, though, Stace, or player predictions I have for 2024. I had a couple bold predictions a couple months ago. I think we did some to open up the new year. And I said that Oswald Peraza was going to get traded at some point this year. Right,
which probably would happen.
Yeah, so I think that's my biggest player prediction. Here, I'll go bold here. Why not? Last show. Yankees win the AL East by 10 games.
Ooh.
Runaway, bloodbath, not even close. There you go. How about that, Baltimore? Take that.
That's bold.
Bold for you, Stace? Anything?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to do like bigger ones once we get closer to the season.
Yeah, no, my gast is flabbered by that bold prediction of yours.
Cool. Thank you, Ruben. Always appreciate having conversations with you. Our next one's coming from Eric, asking, "Hi, Steve. If you had to make one more trade/signing before spring training ends, what would it be?" I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off the Oswald Peraza thing. I think they should not give up Spencer Jones, and it looks like they're not going to be giving up Spencer Jones, but they should absolutely dangle Oswald Peraza for Dylan Cease. There you go. Done. I'm in.
Yeah.
If you're not going to play him, use it.
Again, yep. If you're not going to play him, then use him for something useful, like another starting pitcher.
Yeah. Send him and Cabrera so they can be together forever.
Yeah, the best friends forever.
Besties. Thank you, Eric, for your question and for being a Locked On Yankees insider, man. I really appreciate it. And like everybody, really appreciate the conversation we've had. Kike now checking in, Stacey, one of our tried and true. Long-winded here, saying the day is upon us. Thanks, Steve, for all the work you have put in. Never more than Stacey, of course. For us Yankee fans, good luck in your next endeavor. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. My Fanmail Friday. Will Steve ever be back for a reunion episode? If not, how can we make him do so? A lawsuit, maybe. His actual question. I truly believe that the key to our success will be DJ LeMahieu. If he gets on base, things will flow. Thoughts? Stacey, joking question here, but just to put this out into the universe, I'd love to come back at some point. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm not traveling with Springfield at all, so I will have those road trips where I'll be at home on a regular and much closer to your time zone now, much closer to you physically now. Just by the way, so yeah, I would love to come back if you are ever needing someone to come scream about Oswald Peraza. You can look no further than me.
Yes, nice.
So I'd love to come on every now and then. Actual question, key to success being DJ LeMahieu. I think that is a potential key to success, but I think that he's not the only option, especially considering the leadoff spot. I think it's nice that you have an Alex Verdugo backup now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he is one of the keys, and if he doesn't get going, put someone else in there kind of thing. But if he does do well, that will be obviously good for the team because you need a good DJ LeMahieu in the lineup.
Yeah, and then I know we've talked a lot about Oswald already, but natural to pick that next spot too.
Mm-hmm.
Vivas, natural to pick up some at-bats too here if he has a nice start to AAA. Things like that, things of that nature. I don't think that the season hinges on DJ LeMahieu, but having that addition, if you have second half DJ, post All-Star break DJ, yeah, that's gonna help a whole ton, man, a whole ton. Thank you, Kike. You've been one of the best, man. Thank you, man. I really have enjoyed every conversation we've had, and I'm not just saying that for everybody. It's just I really have liked these conversations we've had in Locked On Yankees Insider Land. Our last one here in this segment, maybe we can get to. Let's see. This one's coming from probably our most intense, but in the best way possible, our most like right hand lady, Betty. You guys know Betty. Every dares know Betty. Betty asking us right now, I can only ask Steve, will you now still be a Yankee fan somewhere deep in your heart? And were you pleased with what you saw in both hitting and pitching this week? Again, I will miss you, Steve. Betty, I'm going to miss you so much. I really am. Thank you. Thank you. You know what's weird, Stacey? So I actually had to answer this question in the comments here on a video from this week. And look, I don't know how long everybody watches the show. This could be your first episode. If so, weird one to jump in on, guys. Yeah, I didn't grow up a Yankees fan, right? Like I'm from California. I grew up here in SoCal and have been here for the vast majority of my life. And I love it here. And it's obviously very hard to say goodbye to this place that I love. But it's really weird because for a really long time, I think, yes, viewers of this show, I think Locked On Yankees YouTube existed. 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was on Locked On Yankees in a crossover with you, Stacey. And this was like the first time we really talked. Yeah. I'm sure if you scrolled back far enough, you could find this episode. But we did a crossover. And I think like one of the first things I said ever on Locked On Yankees was, I don't hate the Yankees. Because I grew up an Angels fan, right? This was back when I was the host of Locked On Angels. And so like I've never, I still stick true to that. I've never hated the Yankees. I've always had hatred of the Red Sox. So I guess that was always like a natural fit, right? Like Angels, Red Sox going back to the 80s, like heartbreaks, and into the mid 2000s, absolute heartbreaks in Anaheim. So I guess that kind of put us one in the same space, right? Just like kind of cut from the same cloth. So yeah, it's a long-winded answer is, yeah, it's weird now that the Yankees kind of have a little piece of my heart when I never ever once considered that, being it, I don't know, is it physically the furthest team possible away from me? Yeah. So it's kind of weird and how full circle it's come here. So yeah, the Yankees will always have a piece of me, which I never thought I would say. And as far as the baseball stuff, yeah, I mean, I was very encouraged by Carlos Rodon this week, pretty encouraged by Nestor. So yeah, there's some good things that we saw here this week, especially for the first week of spring training.
Yeah.
Got more questions, guys. We have one more from an insider, and then we're going to jump to our YouTube community, and then I'm going to be officially saying goodbye at the end of the show. So hang out with us one last time. Don't worry if you're just joining or if you're new or if you didn't hear the announcement on Monday. The show isn't going anywhere, just me. I'm going somewhere, not the show. Don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. Just like everybody here, that's going to continue. All these people get priority. As always, that's going to continue. So check out the episode description for a 14-day free trial. That's, again, in the episode description. All right, we got more questions when we come back.
Get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your bet wins. Bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and more. And by the way, in those parlays, you can bet on someone to score 10, 20, or even 30-plus points in a game. And if you're doing a quick bet, you can bet on who will score the first basket in a game and by what method. Will they dunk the ball, shoot a three-pointer, get a layup? And because we're we're not a basketball podcast, we're a baseball podcast. Your 2024 Yankees are the favorite to win the AL East. They're just behind Houston to win the AL overall. And Aaron Judge is leading the regular season home run leaderboard just ahead of Matt Olson of the Braves. So visit fanduel.com/lockedon and shoot your shot. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA.
Back here on today's episode of Locked On Yankees, Fanmail Friday edition of the show. We have a couple more questions to get to, but don't forget to check out Locked On Sports Today, where you can get the top stories and the top shows every day, 24/7 on YouTube. It's just like TV, but it's good. So go check it out. Again, it's called Locked On Sports Today. Stacey, one more coming from our insiders. If you want priority, as always, check the episode description for a 14-day free trial. There's a link in there. Go sign up. Try it for a few weeks. This one is coming from Adam, Stace. Okay, I got one specifically for Steve, as I have grown to not only become a fan of the show, but to both of you as well. Steve, what's the end goal? What is a job/position that you would like to settle into and eventually retire from? Thanks for all the time put into the show, both on and off screen, and helping me get through boring days at work. Good luck. Thank you, Adam. Very, very nice of you, man. I really appreciate that. The end goal, Stace. The end goal has been the goal from day one when I decided to go into this crazy, wild world that has moved me across the country multiple times. It's Major League Play-by-Play. That's it. That is the goal. That is still the goal. There are other markers I want to hit my career outside of baseball. I want to do Olympics. I want to do a World Baseball Classic. I want to become one of the greats. That's the goal, is to get there and to be as best as I can. That has always been the goal for any team, TV, radio, whoever calls. You got me. Clearly, I have bounced around from organization to organization. Obviously, these last 2 years covering the Yankees has been very fun and different. Like I said, never thought I would ever say these kinds of things. But yeah, if you're out there and you need a guy, give me a call. I also do a lot of other sports, play-by-play wise, basketball, hockey, heck, soccer, volleyball. I've done it all. So that's the goal. That's the goal. And hopefully this is the right stepping stone. Again, if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, go check out Monday's episode. I talked about it in full about what's going on, or just check my Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Like I posted about it officially now. It is all officially out there. Cards on the table now, Stace. Okay, let's get back to baseball questions. I'm boring. Let's go to our YouTube community. I think this is a newcomer, Stacey. This is coming from @Anti-Censorship Society 1063. That's a name and a half. Asking us, do we feel comfortable with Clay Holmes as closer? At times, he turns into the righty version of Aroldis Chapman, where he simply cannot locate and begins to walk batter after batter. We need more consistency and more strikeouts from our closer. He's a perfect setup guy, but some pitchers can't handle that ninth inning pressure. Stacey, you're taking a deep breath, so I'm going to let you start this one.
I just feel like the expectations that Yankee fans throw onto a closer is because of Mariano Rivera. They were so used to him being basically lights out. I mean, he had like one bad week a year. It always happened in August. We called it what what's wrong with Mo week. But for the most part, I mean, obviously he got into the Hall of Fame unanimously because he was one of the best closers ever. And I feel like Yankee fans are still thinking that that's how the closer is always going to be. And it's not. If you look at other closers around the league, they're not perfect. Clay Holmes isn't perfect. Yeah, Mo wasn't perfect.
Clearly.
I saw him give up a home run to Adam Jones in the top of the ninth, and they lost a game 2-1 to Baltimore. It's an infamous tweet from John Heyman where he made a kind of spelling mistake, and people still post it. It's from like 2013. But anyway, Clay Holmes is fine as a closer, and he's not like Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman toward the end was, every time you watched him, you're like, ugh. I mean, at least with Holmes, it's not like that.
I think this is the perfect way to sum up the world revolving Clay Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
This week, we're asking if we're being asked if we're comfortable with him, don't trust him, all this stuff. Last Fanmail Friday, we were asked, what does an extension look like for Clay Holmes?
Right.
So I'm not picking on you, bro. Not picking on you at all. Because your sentiments are echoed throughout the fan base. Clearly, we have seen it on multiple occasions. People are divided on this. I like Clay Holmes. I've said it 100 times. I think he's solid, and I think he's primed for a pretty big year, man. I think he took a big step in 2023, and aside from a couple of bad outings right before the All-Star break, and I think like right after, maybe he had like one or two. Can't really remember exactly, but I have no problems with Clay Holmes. No problem with Clay Holmes. Thank you for your question. However, this one's coming from @MrMallory94, one of our originals, one of our tried and trues, asking us, since it's Steve's last week, I'll submit a question for the second week in a row. Why didn't Volpe get more Rookie of the Year love? Stacey, we did a whole episode. Remember this? We dipped back into the history books. We did a whole episode on why Anthony Volpe was not getting Rookie of the Year love. It's the bat, man. That's it. He didn't hit consistently. That was it.
Because if he did, he probably would have had more of a chance, I guess.
He would have been in the conversation.
Yeah, he would have been in the conversation if the bat were better, because obviously the defense was fine. He won a Gold Glove. So
yeah, he was the Gold Glover in the American League. He hit 20 home runs. And he stole whatever many amount of bases. So he just didn't hit enough. And Gunnar Henderson absolutely did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good rookie crop last year.
Yeah, there were a lot of good guys and we spoke about that too, where, it's not a knock against Volpe. there's a lot of competition in that top end of the rookie list.
Yeah. Yeah, it was last year, even on the National League side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Corbin Carroll. Heck of a year. Like, come on, man. There was a lot of really, really good rookies last year. I think we kind of got a little spoiled last year with the amount of good rookies that also just like weren't good, but were good on impact teams. Like making an impact on teams that were playoff teams. Like it's amazing. It was really cool to see. Makes me happy. I love it. I love that stuff. Thank you, Mr. Mallory, always for being awesome and for always submitting questions, man. I see yours all the time. So I appreciate your input on the show, and I hope that continues even once I'm gone. Okay, this next one, Stacey, this is coming from Ellery Tom. Okay, so before Steve leaves this podcast, I want each Stacey and Steve to tell us, what is the best minor league stadium food you've ever had? Stace, why don't you start this one?
Okay, well, I've only been to a couple minor league stadiums, 3 of them, and I don't really remember what I had. I had like normal stuff, but I will say we have an independent league stadium like 15 minutes from my house. The New York Boulders play there, and I used to go there a lot, and they have a really good chili dog, and I like the chili dog. Plus the cheese is mozzarella cheese, and you get it with waffle fries, and it's, the chili's really good. It's really good. And I get it every time I go.
So we're going to add to this list here this year, obviously. I have been to 28 minor league stadiums.
Wow.
And it's weird. So this is a weird way to answer this, because you go to the ballpark as a fan. I'm blessed that the ballpark is my office. And so when I go to the office, I can't eat a chili cheese dog all the time because I'll explode. So my priorities when I'm looking for ballpark food is so different than most people. Look, obviously every now and then I splurge, but for the most part, I'm trying to find the healthiest option.
Yeah.
Because I'm eating it so regularly. some of my faves, the very first ballpark I ever worked in was Lone Mart Field here in Rancho Cucamonga, which isn't too far from where I currently sit in Anaheim. The Dodgers A-ball affiliate. They had a down the right field line, a taco stand, and that was a pretty regular go-to for me. I was getting that like 3 times a week, 4 times a week. I was going to the taco stand, just getting the chicken straight up, three tacos. That, and then PK Park. Look, I'm not gonna say this is the greatest food on the planet, but this was like the healthiest option that I ever came across. I had a turkey burger, PK Park in Eugene, Oregon. I think they're leaving that ballpark or have left that ballpark now because that is the Oregon Ducks baseball facility. And I believe Eugene is also trying to get their own stadium now. Don't quote me on that, last I heard. But that, and then the Rail Riders, if you ever get down to Scranton, ever get down to Moosic, hopefully they still have it. They had Chicky and Pete's as their sponsor for chicken fingers and waffle fries. Yeah, those were the best chicken tenders, like for sure. Like if you're just going for straight up chicken tendies.
I can't remember what I had when I went there because we were in a rush to get there. We were stuck in traffic. Michael Pineda was doing a rehab start. This was 10 summers. This was 10 years ago, 2014. And we made it to the stadium at like 7:18. So we just missed like the first, it wasn't that bad considering it took us over 3 hours to get there. I can't remember if I ate anything. I think I did. We were sitting out in the outfield in those nice seats with the tabletops and, right field and yeah, but I can't remember what I ate, which is really weird because I remember every silly thing like that, but I can't remember what I ate at Scranton.
That was a really good day in the office because we sampled multiple chicken fingers.
Nice.
To see which ones we were going to pick for that season. That was a cool day in the office. Like, all right.
What do you mean? Different
purveyors. Like,
oh,
there was like 6 different chicken fingers that we were to choose from. And then we all consensus on the one that we picked. And they were legitimately really good.
What a fun day at the office.
Oh, great day at the office. That wasn't the only thing. We tested a couple burgers and things like that. And like, we all came in and said like, okay, this is what we want and what we didn't want. That was great. And what's really cool about those ones is they have multiple sauces. Like you're just not ketchup barbecue ranch. Like they had like a Korean barbecue kind of thing. And then they had like a hot honey or something like, I can't remember. It's been a couple of years, but yeah, that's awesome. So hopefully they still have that. Go check it out. Again, go Rail Riders, swbrailriders.com. Buy tickets now. They're on sale. Okay, Stacey, we have one more question and then I'm done. I got to get out of here because everything you see behind me is the only thing that isn't disheveled in this house. So I need to pack. Let's do that right after this. Back here on our final segment, Locked On Yankees Fanmail Friday edition of the show. Stacey, we have one more question coming from our YouTube community. This is coming from @Morris83, asking us, compared to last season's performance, which Yankees players' improvement this year could have the greatest impact on the success of the 2024 team? I'm hoping Staton or Rodon. Thank you, Morris83, for your question. Stace, I don't want to break from the mold here. I've been saying it for weeks. Rodon and Nestor, everything hinges on them at this stage and what this rotation looks like. Everything hinges on them. I think Rodon more than Nestor because he has a higher role. But yeah, it's everything. Everything hinges on them. Yeah,
I feel like out of those two that Morris83 mentioned, Rodon's the more important one. I feel like the Yankees, with Juan Soto in the lineup, Alex Verdugo in the lineup, you have guys who can cover for Staton not doing well, which I feel like they didn't have last year. So I think the pitching is more important and the turnaround and the improvement is more important on the rotation side.
Yeah, because like if you get Staton to be anything, then that's a bonus, right?
Yeah, and it's an improvement from last season.
Yeah, so that's obviously you want that to happen. He wants that to happen. The franchise wants that to happen. The fan base wants that to happen. Everybody wants that to happen, except for opposing pitchers. So, yeah, you're obviously going to take whatever you can get out of Giancarlo Staton. But yeah, my money's on a big bounce back from Rodon, and that's what I'll keep tuning in for. Right? Like I'm keeping my eyes. Like I'm not running away here. Like I got one eye in New York still. Like, hey, I put in all this work on this show. I learned this whole system, so yeah, I'm still in on this. But thank you guys for all your questions here. Thank you for always being a part of our Fanmail Fridays. This is something that we have really built, right?
Yep.
This is one of the big things that we've built on this show. Look, it's not a novel idea or anything, but it's something that we had to figure out for sure, because had you tried Fanmail Fridays in the past before?
I tried doing Mailbag Mondays, and it just didn't really work because no one was asking me questions. And especially I tried doing it on the audio side before we even had YouTube, and I was trying to get people to ask me questions on Twitter, and it would be 3 people asking me, but
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the YouTube side has made it way easier, and of course the insiders make it awesome too. So yeah, that was one of the big, the 2 tent poles when we were first discussing this over a year ago was okay, I want to bring the minor league stuff in, and we got to get fan engagement, right? That was everything, was getting those 2 things up. And I'm pretty proud of what we've been able to do here on this show. And I have full confidence that you're going to be able to keep going, right? You've done this show longer without me than you have with me. So I've been reading the comments the last couple of days, and again, let me just say, thank you guys. Okay. It's been really, oh my God, I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen. It's been really nice. It's been amazing that so many people have reached out and been so nice to me, because I'm just this. I feel like I'm just this little kid in baseball, right? Wow, I did not think this was gonna happen. It's been very emotional the last couple of days. It's been a lot, but it's been so heartwarming, man, to see so many people say so many nice things, and that I've been the best part of people's days, and that I've made people love this sport so much, because I love this sport so much, man. I really do. And man, I can't believe I'm doing this. But all I wanted to do on the show, Stacey, was to give you a platform and to make everyone just think harder, right? And learn as I learned, as I grew in this show. And I just wanted everybody to think. I think that was my main point getting here, was think about the sport a little bit more. Think about what you're watching. Be a smarter fan. Be a more well-informed fan. And I feel like we've done a really good job with that. You've taught me many things about this fan base and this great organization. And I feel like I've taught you a lot, and we both learned from each other, and we've both grown over the last year. And it's been awesome, dude. It's been awesome. I've had to leave Locked On twice now, which is crazy. I obviously I was with Locked On Angels, which was a dream come true to cover the team I loved growing up, and it's been a dream come true to do this with you two, Stace, and to be able to accomplish a goal, man. We freaking did it. We did. We came in with high expectations, and we exceeded them, and that's awesome. And it wasn't just me, it was you. You saved me on days when I couldn't do this and I was sick, or my throat was all screwed up. That happened multiple times last season. You saved me, and it's meant a lot. It's meant a lot. And I guess I'm kind of now realizing that it's meant a lot. I guess how much I'm realizing it. But I'm really proud of what we've been able to build here. And my biggest hope is that doesn't go away. I don't want that to go away, because look, we're not the biggest Yankees podcast. We're a footnote. Let's be real. John Boy crushes us, man. He crushes us. And that's fine. We don't have to do John Boy numbers. And that's fine. We do something different. He can have what he has, and we can have what we have. And we've had a great group of people here, man. And baseball loving people, smart people. And we've lost our heads, and we've had really high highs, man. I really think about that Blue Jays series last year, man. That was awesome to be a part of, and just to give a lot of minor leaguers a platform to give guys like Connor Foley chances on the show to really shine, and have Emily on this show, Emily Messina, and Steven Cusimano and Joe Vasile, and oh my gosh, is everybody. Adam Marco on the show. Oh my God, having Michael K on the show. My gosh, dude. So cool. So freaking cool. Some things that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. And again, just to be able to meet you, Stace, and to grow with you has meant a lot to me too. More than I thought. I was like, I know Stacey. Stacey's cool. Whatever. We'll just do a podcast together. And now here I am over a year later, and I'm crying on camera. First time I've ever done this, by the way. This has never happened to me before. Before I say the last things I wanted to say, Stacey, I just want to give you a platform too to say something.
You have helped me so much this year. Because I joked when you came aboard, when you were saying you were going to bring the minor league stuff. I was like, okay, good, because I don't really pay attention to the minor league stuff anymore because I was so burned in the past from failed prospects and stuff. And, you made the show so much better and so much easier for me to do. And now I have this blueprint going forward that I know how to keep going with it. And, if someone else steps into your role, it'll be an easy transition for me. But even if someone doesn't, I'll be able to carry on by myself, hopefully. But you've helped me so much in the past year and helped the show grow. I mean, God, we've gained like at least 3,000 subscribers on YouTube since you joined, probably more than that. And you're just amazing. You guys need to know how hard Steve works behind the scenes to make the show look as good as it does and sound as good as it does. And, it's just, I'm going to miss you so much. I'm really going to miss you a lot. And I was holding back the tears in segment 2. And then as soon as you started crying, they came out. So
I blew it.
Yeah.
What else is new? I always screw this thing up. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure working with you. And, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'd love to hop back on at some point. And I'm going to keep my eyes on these numbers. So you better keep it up, man. We didn't build all this for nothing.
I know.
We laid the foundation, and it's time to let it flourish. And I'm excited to see what you do next. I'm excited to see where the show goes. Again, we've said it briefly. The show is going to be growing here. The network is going to be growing. And again, I want to thank the Locked On community. I want to thank David Locke, Jeff Carr, everybody all that has been on the show, Lindsey Crosby, Javier Reyes, everybody, Ryan Finkelstein, everybody. Like I'm missing everybody, but it's meant a lot to me. It's been it's a really cool job. It really is a cool job.
It is. Yeah.
And I want to thank the fans again for like trusting an Angels fan. There was a lot of people who were not happy that I was an Angels fan. There was a lot of people. And I'm glad I was able to gain your trust as a professional. And that's all I ever strove to do, was to gain your trust. And I'm glad that we were able to make connections on every day. And the last thing I wanted to say, Stacey, before we lose it again, it was really hard to leave. And big changes in your life are really freaking difficult, even if they're good.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really learning here is I have to leave my family. I have to leave my home. I have to leave the life I know and love to pursue a dream. And it's been really, really difficult over the last 10 years to get to this stage. And I know we're running over on time. I know. That's my job. And I'm failing one last time at that. But it's really hard to pursue your dreams. And you only get one life, man. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm leaving the show. It'd been really easy to stay here and just keep doing this and talk Yankees baseball for the next 10 years and be happy with that. And I would have been happy with that. But I have bigger goals and I have bigger dreams. And for whatever reason, when I was in talks with the Cardinals, the Springfield Cardinals, about this, and it was feeling like it was going to happen, and it was feeling like I was about to have to make a decision, of all places, a freaking TikTok came across that like changed everything for me. And I wanted to share that wisdom here. You're always scaredest right before you're about to jump. And that's exactly when you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing. And it's not just for me, it's for my family. It's for my parents who have believed in me in this career. And it's for a little boy, me, that, loves the sport and just wants to grow in it. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's why I have to leave the show. And that's why I have to leave my life and family and pursue this. And I'm going to be successful because that's all I've worked for the last decade, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm scared. I'm worried, but that's when you jump. So
Yep.
I'm going to jump.
You're going to be awesome. They're so lucky to have you. They're really, really lucky to have you. And I'm just, I said it when you told me you were getting the job, or even before you knew you were getting the job, but I told you were getting the job. You're going to be so awesome. And they're so lucky to have you. I'm so proud of you. I know I sound like a mother saying that, but I am. I'm proud of you because I can say that. I'm a bit older than you, but I am. I'm so proud of you, and you're going to kick ass. It's going to be great.
Thank you. Let's end it on that note. I like that. That's a great way to finish it. Don't forget, Locked On Yankees Insiders Club episode description has the link. 14-day free trial in there. Fanmail Friday next week with Stacey. So always reply to that pinned comment Monday through Thursday, just like you guys did today. You guys crushed it. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You will see me in some capacity. I'm sure I'm not disappearing off the face of the earth. When you're scared, jump. And that's going to do it for my time on Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Rodon.
And I'm Stacey Gatsoulias, and I will see you on Monday.